Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, 47-year-old man sentenced to 15 years for sexual assault of teen girl. A 47-year-old man who was convicted for the sexual assault of the teen daughter of his ex-girlfriend was sentenced to 15 years in prison in the St. Catherine Circuit Court on Friday. The man was found guilty of 2 counts of having sexual intercourse with a person under 16 years old. The teen girl was 13 at the time of the incident. The man was sentenced by Justice Bertram Morrison, who told him that he betrayed the trust of the victim. Facts are that 3 years ago, the man who had a relationship with the victim's mother went into a room and sexually assaulted her. A report was made to the Police Center for Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse, and an investigation was launched. The man was later arrested and subsequently charged. Westmoreland man on bail charged with a fraud in case of $530,000 weave purchase. A 23-year-old Westmoreland man who is currently on bail was charged on Thursday in connection with an incident involving the use of a fake check to purchase over $500,000 worth of packs of human hair. Charged with a conspiracy to defraud and obtaining goods by false pretense is Ramiz Blake, a laborer of Barracks Road in Savannah Lamar. Blake is scheduled to appear in court on Tuesday, April 22. According to reports from the Savannah Lamar Police, at approximately 10 a.m. on Monday, December 23, 2024, a woman agreed to sell a man 20 packs of human hair valued at $530,500. The man reportedly indicated that payment would be made via check and that his business associate, Ramiz Blake, would collect the items. Later that day, the man contacted the woman and informed her that the money had been deposited. Blake subsequently collected the hair. However, 4 days later, upon checking with her bank, the woman was informed that the check was fraudulent, the police reported. After multiple calls to the man with whom she had made the initial agreement went unanswered, the woman filed a report with the police. Following an investigation, Blake was apprehended at the Savannah Lamar Police Station on Wednesday, April 9, while reporting as part of his bail conditions in another matter. He was formally charged on Thursday, April 10. Curfews end. Manchester welcomes the decision, but the police warn they could be reimposed if there is a crime spike. Business and political leaders in the central Jamaica parish have welcomed the decision by the police to lift a number of curfews which have been in place for months in an effort to clamp down on crime. But the police have warned that the curfews, which will be lifted this weekend, could be reimposed if the areas do not remain crime-free. Inspector Berthelyn Lloyd, sub-officer in charge of the Manchester Community Safety and Security Branch, made the announcement of the curfew being discontinued at the Thursday sitting of the Manchester Municipal Corporation. Having spoken to my commander, Deputy Superintendent of Police Kerry Duncan, and he has assured me that with what is happening, and if we continue to have Manchester safe and with the crimes trending down this weekend, all curfews will be lifted in the Manchester space, Lloyd said in response to a question posed by Councillor Omar Miller of the Jamaica Labour Party, Craighead Division. Lloyd told the councillors that Manchester is seeing a 49% reduction in major crimes, with 39 incidents reported up to April 5 compared to 76 for the corresponding period last year. This is a decrease of 37. We have 4 reported murders for this year, in comparison to 11 for the corresponding period last year. We have 7 recorded shootings in comparison to 11 for last year. It shows a decrease of 4, she said. There was only 1 reported incident of rape so far this year, compared to 4 for the corresponding period. We only have 1 area where we have seen an increase, and this is in the area of aggravated assault, where we have seen 6 reported for this period in comparison to 5 for last year. It shows an increase of 20%. We have 4 reports of robberies compared to 6 last year, and for break-ins, we have 16 reported in comparison to 27 last year, and this shows an increase of 11 or 41%, she said. Lloyd said there was only 1 reported case of larceny compared to 12 for the corresponding period. Miller, the minority leader in the council, told the news on Friday that the lifting of the curfew is long overdue. Persons have been anticipating it for quite some time now because it has affected the livelihood of many persons, along with the ability to move about freely in relative peace, and so we welcome it, said Miller. Craighead and other areas between Christiana and the Manchester-Trelawney border have been under curfew since the last week of January. Several other communities, including Midday, Royal Flat, Comfort, and Green Street on the outskirts of Mandeville, were under curfew. Miller, like the police, warned the residents that the curfews could be reimposed if there is a spike in crime. Clarendon councillors demand urgent attention to water woes facing some residents of the parish. With the onset of the dry season, a councillor in the Clarendon Municipal Corporation says he cannot guarantee normalcy within his division, as majority of his constituents have been without running water for more than 1 year. Romaine Morris of the People's National Party Mucka Division took the National Water Commission to task at Thursday's monthly sitting of the corporation, as he charged that its system in Goshen has been down for more than a year. According to Morris, he is tired of begging for water. It's close to a year now since I raised this matter. I understand that the system in Goshen has been down, and the residents of Moko are frustrated because persons in Goshen can't get no water. Persons in Whitechapel, Eden, and Darlow are also without water. I asked NWC about 6 months ago, and every month since then I ask, what is the update? What is going to be done? And to this day, there is nothing being done. Mr. Chairman, the residents are planning to demonstrate, and I wouldn't wrong them. Today is the final time I am going to come here and ask for it, because I will be on the road demonstrating with them, because I am here today going through the formal medium, and I will do what I have to do to represent the people of the Mucka Division, said a visibly frustrated Morris. He charged that only about 25% of the Mucka Division is supplied by the NWC system, and asked the corporation for additional funding to boost the parish's water trucking capacity. Delroy Dawson, PNP Inantown Division, also used the meeting to register his frustration with the NWC, which he accused of neglecting the people he represents. At the last council meeting, I mentioned some areas within the division where we have a lot of leaks. To date, Mr. Chairman, those have not been rectified. Instead, they got worse, and it is really a waste of resources to be pumping water, and the millions of gallons of water is running back to the river or on the road, said Dawson. The mosquitoes in the area are unbearable. The health department personnel for the area held a meeting up there yesterday, and they spoke about the breeding of the mosquitoes. The water is just on the road, and it is a disgrace. Last week, we mentioned about 6, but it doubled this week. Nothing is being done, nothing at all, and we can't continue like this. We are going to block the road. We are make them know the road are go block. The students who walk on the road are get flash up and rain not falling. It cannot continue. I talked about it from last meeting, and nothing is being done about it. So I'm telling the NWC again, in Inantown, the leaks on the road need to be fixed with immediate effect, added Dawson. Godfrey Knight, PNP Tollgate Division, added his voice to calls for more funding to be allocated to the municipal corporation for the trucking of water. This council cannot provide us as councillors who have drought-stricken areas with the resources to provide water for the residents. It is unbearable for the citizens. It is not good. They are taxpayers, and I believe the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, and the Minister of Local Government, Desmond Mackenzie, should do something about this situation. It is unbearable for them, and it is also unbearable for me, because they are calling me night and day for trucking of water, said Knight. In response, the chairman of the corporation, Joel Williams, said he would follow up on the matter adding that the entity had written to both the Minister of Local Government and the Minister with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, about the issue. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.